Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the In-News series. My name is Pooja Dwivedi. Today we are going to discuss the capital conundrum of Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh doesn't seem to be very decisive about its capital, and now it has decided that Visakhapatnam is going to be its capital. Now, has it abandoned the three capital plan it erstwhile had? We are going to discuss all about that only. From the perspective of preliminary examination as well as the mains examination, it is important to understand these many points, specifically from the perspective of GS Mains Paper 2nd. And to know more about it, let us first of all know this news piece. Visakhapatnam to be Andhra Pradesh's new capital city, according to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Y.V. Reddy. Now, this is an actual issue since the last many years, almost 10 years now. How? In 2014, Andhra Pradesh was bifurcated into two states, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Since then, they were having a shared capital, Hyderabad. But after a period of time, talks started about changing the capital because they had shared this and they were supposed to share this capital of Hyderabad as in a temporary arrangement. A more permanent capital was needed. Now, from that perspective only, the entire issue started garnering attention, and it is more political in nature. But we also have to know about the polity, how Indian system works. So, Article 3 allows the Parliament to enact laws to form new states and to alter the areas, boundaries or names of existing states. Now, under this only, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana were created. Article 4 allows the Parliament to include any other required provisions in those laws. Parliament enacted such a law to create the new states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. When Andhra Pradesh and Telangana were split, the Parliament exercised its power under Article 4 to make a new provision in the Act about the capital of the new state. So, if it is asked in your preliminary examination, keep in mind all these important facts. Moving ahead, Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act of 2014 was the act that bifurcated Andhra Pradesh into two states, state of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. And then AP Nara Chandrababu Naidu of Telugu Desam Party, who was the chief minister back then, he wanted that a more permanent capital could be carved from the region of, specifically a region which was not very developed. Visakhapatnam was already developed, so Visakhapatnam as a capital was not very enticing to him. He wanted some region which is not very developed or a greenfield region which he could develop as under his chief ministerialship. So the government then passed the APCRDA Act, okay? And Section 5 of the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014 said that Hyderabad would remain the common capital of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh for 10 years. So from 2014 to 2024, it was high time that the capital was decided within this time. Hyderabad will be the capital of Telangana and there will be a new capital for Andhra Pradesh. Section 6 of the Act permitted the Union government to form an expert committee to make recommendation about the new capital for Andhra Pradesh. So keep in mind this, Union government had to, formulate a committee for it, not the state. Alright, moving ahead. Now the AP Capital Region Development Authority Act of 2014 was empowered. Under this, a committee was empowered to identify the capital region and the capital city area in the Vijayawada Guntur region because this region was not very developed. Also, it established the authority for the development of the capital city, Amravati. Okay, and then Amravati lies over here in the middle of Kurnool and Visakhapatnam, as you can see. So, the Sivarama Krishnan Committee was established in 2014. It favored that there should be decentralization of different regions when it comes to capital. So, it suggested the Vizag sub-region as a potential capital space. Visakhapatnam was already a developed city. It had to become the financial capital of the state. And so Chandrababu Naidu wanted a greenfield capital in a new region for more development, balanced development. So the timeline goes like, in 2015, the government notified the AP Capital City and Land Pooling Scheme rules. Here, the land had to be pooled in the area which was identified as the capital region for the development of Amravati. So farmers had to pool their land, give it away, and of course compensation had to be given so that Amravati could, take birth as a capital. All landowners who surrendered their lands for pooling would receive reconstituted plots after 3 years. This was there. Alright. Now, if we talk about 2019, there was a change in the regime. The new chief minister comes, Mr. Reddy, and he formulates the G.N. Rao committee. The G.N. Rao committee then suggested that we should have 3 capitals. First, the Amravati region, Amravati as the capital, which is the legislative capital, which should be the legislative capital. Visakhapatnam, the executive capital, and Kurnool, the judicial capital. Alright, moving ahead. Now, the AP Assembly enacted the AP CRDA Repeal Act of 2020. The AP Decentralization and Inclusive Development of All Regions Act 2020. This act came in order to, implement this plan of 3 capitals. So, farmers were not happy about this. This act was challenged. About 63 farmers approached the AP High Court against this particular act. In March 2022, the Andhra Pradesh High Court said that the state government should follow through with the AP CRDA Act. That means Amravati would be the state capital and not every other region should be declared as capital. So in September 2022, the Andhra Pradesh government went to the apex court against this judgment or verdict of the Andhra Pradesh court, saying that the Andhra Pradesh High Court is doing infringement of rights to federalism by the High Court. The rights which have been given to them by the Constitution as a federal state. This right is being infringed upon by the High Court. So, it is the state's prerogative to decide the capital city. Prerogative means rights. It is the state's rights according to the Constitution that we can have our own, capital, whichever region we want to develop as capital. So, in November 28, 2022, the Supreme Court stayed the Andhra Pradesh High Court's judgment, saying that courts can't act as town planners. Right now, although the apex court has reserved the judgment and no final verdict has been pronounced. Now, if we talk about the purpose of having more than one capital, there are many states in India that have more than one capital. So, we have to understand that whenever we get more than one capital, it helps to cover the developmental gaps in cities and villages surrounding the capital. Because if we continuously develop only one city, as per it is the capital of the region, other cities will remain underdeveloped. And also, having multiple branches of government in different cities can help the development of area. So, there are certain states like Maharashtra has 2 capitals, Mumbai and Nagpur. Nagpur was selected as the capital because the erstwhile when Bombay was under the Reorganization Act of 1956 was bifurcated, when Maharashtra during the Reorganization Act of 1956 was bifurcated into 2 different regions on the basis of linguism, Gujarat for Gujarati speaking people and Maharashtra for Marathi speaking people. There was a problem that is Vijayawada going to be developed or not? If Mumbai is going to be the capital, what about Vijayawada? The region of Vijayawada. So it was decided that Nagpur should also be the capital. For Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow is the administrative capital and Prayagraj is the judicial capital. If you have any other states in mind, you can talk about it. Karnataka, Bengaluru, and of course Belgaum, which was erstwhile Belgavi. It is not officially a capital, but it is considered as a capital by Karnataka government. Now on January 31st, the CM of Andhra Pradesh declared Visakhapatnam that it will shortly become the capital, and he will also be shifting to the port city. It was a contempt of the court according to critics of opposition. They are saying that already the judgment is reserved with the apex court. The apex court has not come out with the judgment. How can you change the capital right now? So it was a contempt of the court because CM has grossly violated section 2C of the Contempts of the Court Act of 1971, because in the Constitution it is not given. So this act is there. By the legal critics are saying that by doing this, the CM has undermined the authority of the Supreme Court and also interfered with the administration of justice with respect to the capital city of Andhra Pradesh. Alright, moving on. Now, a few critical legal aspects we have to solve before we move on to, get a city as a capital. First of all, property rights and contractual obligations to farmers need to be considered before, pooling of land. If land pooling scheme is still there for developing 3 capitals, that has to be taken care of. The challenges with respect to having more than one capital is logistical issue. If you have to shift a capital, there are going to be challenges with the logistics, infrastructure, also display of names. Logistics consists of display of names of Visakhapatnam as a city. There will be pretty many issues with respect to tourism as well, whenever we talk about the shifting of capital. So these all are certain challenges. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching and stay updated.